this kind of like goes to the more like gear nerdery end of things. So we give a chance specifically for guests like you that work in and around and touch a lot of gear as well as, you know, doing what you do, a chance to get a little bit deeper in that like toy chest and pull out one like desert island kind of item or piece. So I'm curious, and I know we're dropping it on you, so sometimes it's tough to sift through, but it can be anything. It can clearly be a guitar, pedal, whatever. But for you, I'm curious where you see that one piece being that you just either back in the day or still would not make music or make the same music that you make without it.
You know, I've become a little less of a gearhead as I got older. You know what I mean? Just like I've had the opportunity to work on all this amazing gear, but like it doesn't matter what you're putting in front of somebody if the somebody isn't putting something back at you. But to answer your question,
hey, that's an answer in and of itself, which we like.
Yeah. Again, around that time, I kind of had this, it wasn't a secret weapon. It was, let's call it my only weapon. My only trick up my sleeve was we had this like really crappy, noisy air organ.
Okay.
It was like shaped like a mini piano. It sounded bad. It was like always a little bit sharp, but it was vibey. So the sound of this air organ is all over Parrot Flies and Get to Sound. It's very like lightly tucked behind a part, or like it's never playing leads. It's always just like it's not even, it wasn't even droney. It wasn't like block chords. It was always just like this schmeary part that I always use to like tuck under something else, not to make it bigger, but just to sort of like scramble you a little bit from something that might feel a little too on the nose. So if you listen to either of those records, it might be going through, you know, a delay or something, but it's covered in those two records.
Dude, that is so cool. I love that. And it's also, and the fact that you mentioned, you're like, you know, it cheats a little sharp. I feel like that is inherently like, that's that kind of tape wobbly, like imperfection vibe that so many people like cut to tape to try to pull out or whatever. It's like, or do some of that, like the modulated delay type stuff. That's awesome, dude. You're like, yo, it's actually the fact that it's not in tune that makes it great, you know?
And I borrowed Ryan Schwab's, he had just gotten like the chorus echo. Is that the one that's the delay, the chorus and the reverb, Tom?
Yeah, the 55 or the
I think that's what it
5.5. Yeah, Andy from Retro City has one.
Okay, yeah, totally. He does. I've seen it in pictures.
Yeah.
But then he let me borrow that, and I think I also ran it all through that for like one day, just spent running backup vocals and
hell yeah,
that particular air organ to that piece.
Just screwing everything up with a little extra wobble. Dude, that's awesome. I'm going to go listen. So if you're listening to this, go listen to those records and listen for it. See if you can find it, because I'm sure it's tucked in, and it's one of those things where, dude, that is actually kind of the definition of like a secret sauce weapon. Totally. It sounds like that adds that little bit of character to all of that, man. Thanks for sharing. That's a very cool one. That's a super cool one, Tom. I like that.
Of course.
We'll have to try and track down. Do you have a picture of it anywhere, or?
Yeah, I think so. I would love to know where it is now. I'll have to ask Peter, or maybe Mike Bell knows, but yeah, I want to track it down too. Yeah,
dude. Well, and only because maybe we can just accompany like a little picture, or I'd even love to see it, because it's probably one of those things that at this point is like near impossible, you know, to find. It's not like there is some. It sounds like it's something that's not just like there's not 10 of floating around on Reverb right now, which I think is.
No, I think Peter found it in the trash.
Right.
Love that. Joe, Gradwell has a like a pump. Like a
similar,
yeah.
It sounds similar to that.
Okay,
yes.
Cool. Yeah.
Familiar with that one.
Yeah, that one's fun. Cool, man. Dope. Well, thanks, bud.
Yeah, thanks again, guys. Pleasure. Really nice catching up.
All right, buddy. Enjoy your day. We'll talk to you soon.